Hi, in this video I'll be showing you how I check the frets on this Ibanez RG guitar and how I level them. The owner has asked me to restring the guitar and give it a general setup. Part of what I do is to check the frets and see that they are level. If they are not, then it will make setting up the required action difficult to achieve without having fret buzz or even the strings choking, where the string would be too close to the fret beyond the fretted one and not allow the string to vibrate correctly. Firstly, I need to remove the strings. As I am replacing them, I'll cut them off. But I always take the tension off the strings before doing so, as not doing this could potentially cause damage, particularly to the tuning machines. Once the tension is released, it is safe to cut the strings and remove them. Once the strings are removed, I need to make sure that the neck is absolutely flat. To do this, I use a level, which has got flat screw heads in it, which only touch the fingerboard and not the frets. In this case, the neck has a slight concave bow, and I will need to adjust and tighten the truss rod to straighten the neck. The truss rod adjustment on this guitar is done from under a small hatch in the headstock, and I use the correct Allen wrench to make the adjustment. I re-measure as I'm doing this until the neck is flat. It is now time to check the frets, and I use a purpose-made fret rocker to do this. This machined piece of metal allows me to place it across 3 frets at a time and then see if it rocks on the center fret. If it does, this indicates that the fret is higher than the 2 on either side. I work my way up the neck, checking each single fret as I go and using the correct side of the fret rocker to only cover 3 frets at a time. I have found that there is a number of frets which are a little high, and the owner has asked me to level them. The first job is to mask off the fretboard to protect it. I use low-tack masking tape for this. As the tape is a little too wide for the frets nearer the body, I stick the tape up against one of the frets. Press the tape up against the other fret. Use a sharp craft knife held at a 45-degree angle to the fret, and with the tip of the blade at the base of that fret, I gently cut through the tape, careful not to damage the fingerboard. As the frets in this case are not far out, I'm using a leveling beam which has 400 grit wet and dry sandpaper attached to it, and sand down the frets. I recheck which frets need to be worked on and mark them with a permanent marker. I then use the leveling beam to start work on the frets. I want to remove as little metal from the frets as possible, so I continue to check and recheck the frets as I go. I also use very little pressure on the leveling beam, using mainly its own weight to press down. I continue like this all the way down the neck until all the frets are level. When all the frets are level, I need to recrown them. The top of the frets have been flattened and need to be filed back to a dome shape. For this, I'm going to use a fret crowning file. I remark all the frets with a permanent marker, and the aim is to file until just a small amount of the marker is still visible at the very top of the fret. Go too far and that fret will be lower than the rest, and I would have to start all over again. Great care is needed and a delicate touch. The crowning file is a specialist tool which has a concave filing area which is in the dome shape. I place the file onto the fret and carefully and slowly start to file. I check the progress to make sure I don't go too far. I do this to every fret. I recheck with the fret rocker one last time. After all this filing, the metal of the fret has become marked and I now need to polish out any scratches. To begin with, I will use 400 grit wet and dry sandpaper wrapped around a water pipe lagging foam tube, which is ideal for this purpose. And I run it up and down the whole length of the fingerboard. The tube will allow the sandpaper to ride up and down almost the whole of the fret. I will repeat this process with 800 and 1200 grit paper. Once this has been done, almost all the scratches have now been polished out. I will use a small piece of synthetic wire wool to remove any last traces of the scratches. I use this instead of real wire wool as it does not leave any tiny bits of wire which could be pulled into the pickups by the magnets. I never use wire wool on a guitar. I will now use metal polish. In this case, it's a car polish, which can be found in any auto parts store. Once this has been rubbed in, I use a craft drill with a light buffing pad. I then change to a heavier pad to buff the frets to a gleaming shine. After this, I just need to remove the masking tape and complete the service and restring the guitar. This I will show in another video. I hope you found this video useful. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.